Hey guys. Give me a second. Hey Toy Pups. Hey Michael. I may have to miss Tuesday's live stream.
What's new with Google Ads?
Sorry guys, commercial popped up. It says, hey there Yogi, and I might be wrong in the amount of points because it was taken by a security camera. Oh, new video of 8-point buck. We'll find out. We'll help you count them. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to count, but I'm going to take your word for it, Michael. Awesome. Love it. Where were we? Hi, Kat. Michael said, I might be, oh, nope. May have to miss Tuesday's live stream because we're going to Louisiana that day. Be there for 2 days. Well, what's in Louisiana, Michael? We got some love from Toy Pups and from Kat. Thank you. Appreciate that, guys. All right. I'm going to post a little something. Feel free to discuss if you wish. Visiting the family for a couple days. Hey, Sniper. So here's the agenda, the directive. Teach only love, for that is what you are. We teach what we most need to learn. We teach what we can demonstrate. We demonstrate what we're supposed to teach. What's up, Falcon, my friend? How are you? Are you teaching love? In any moment, we have that option. Am I teaching love, or am I demonstrating the absence of love? Every moment. This comes from the lesson of the crucifixion. The message of the crucifixion is perfectly clear. This is from chapter 6, the lesson of love. Teach only love, for that is what you are. If you interpret the crucifixion in any other way, you are using it as a weapon for assault, rather than the call for peace for which it was intended. As we mentioned before, in any moment we have the opportunity to choose the crucifixion or to choose the resurrection. Any moment. The entirety of A Course in Miracles is teaching you how to do that. No, it occurred to me I never finished posting my my stuff. I'm gonna do that now. As we talk, we're gonna get some work in at the same time. So what's up with you guys? Any questions about Teach You Only Love? Repent to Jesus, he gives us new life. I wouldn't argue that. Zephyr says, greetings out of the box. I don't know if I would say it exactly the way you mean it, which is okay. You know, we don't have to see eye to eye on everything. Did you guys notice, for those who listened to Bruce on Friday, at least 2 times, maybe more. Hey, Anna. Anna, how are you? Guess what is boss? At least 2 times, and again, maybe more. Bruce mentioned the introduction to A Course in Miracles. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Therein lies the peace of God. Herein lies the peace of God. I was really struck by the fact that he mentioned that so often. And I wrote about it this morning. I forgot to post it on my community page, but I'm going to do that now. I usually remember every day. For some reason, I forgot. Been a bit distracted. Hi, Buddha. Buddha says, hi, Yogi. Blessings to you. And all in the chat in the background. Thank you so much, Buddha. Pip Up says, everyone has a choice when they wake up in the morning. Why is it easy for some people to ignore peace and love and choose the opposite? Because we all have that same choice as you mentioned, but most of us don't realize that we actually have a choice. Give me 1 second, guys. Taking care of some business. We don't realize we have a choice. We have what's called the default network mode, which is a term they use in neuroscience and psychology. The default network mode, you can think of it as your happiness level, your happiness point. They say that people who win the lottery generally aren't ever happier than they were before. It goes up a little bit, that elation, but being elated has nothing to do with being happy, right? So it goes up and then it goes back down to that set level, the default network zone. It's the same as our emotional response to things. It's set in place. In yoga, it would be called the samkaras. Let's see. I'm going to dive back in the chat. Still taking care of business, though. So the wonderful thing about yoga is discovering that default network, because now you start to see through it. The wonderful thing about A Course in Miracles, it's mind training. It reminds you, hey, Dan. Dan, how are you? Hey, Ray. Dude, you have to sing for us? It would be so radical. I sang for everyone yesterday. Not very well, but I did. Though I don't think I could sing a song. Bud Files, how are you? Dan, how are you? How are you doing? Hey, Lynn. Lynn says, sup? Was there a bus in the chat yesterday? I don't think so. I'm a Satanist. What's the G and G part? Hey, Medic. Medic says, Eric, thanks for taking the time to check out my video. Of course, Medic. And anything you want to share, always full support for you. Hey, Estat. Where's Mimi? Show yourself. Who exactly is Mimi? Good, just replaced a radiator. Found a valve leak. I just saw your post on your community page where you were said you discovered the problem. Oh, there's Mimi. Mimi says what? Well, hey, how did you know Mimi was there? That was the most incredible act of manifestation I've ever seen. Lynn just said, Mimi, show yourself, and out of nowhere, a Mimi materialized. Gio says, everyone subscribe and like. Thank you, Gio. I appreciate that. Mimi says she's my best friend. Thinks she's AFK. I think she's AFK. I have no idea what AFK means. Medic says, I could do with some watch hours if anyone fancies a video adventure. You got it, for sure. Here's my suggestion, guys. Let me bring up your channel now so that I will remember. When Medic was working on getting monetized. Giving him watch hours was the easiest thing to do because he's got a beautiful channel. The scenery, the editing skills, the music choice, everything that Medic does, top notch, professional, beautifully done. You won't regret just diving in, going through a playlist. Keep it up. And then when you take breaks, you check out whatever's on the screen. I love doing that with so many friends. But, Medic, he stands out. Acronyms are a bit confusing sometimes. They're always confusing for me. Oh, away from keyboard. Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, I got one more task to perform. I need to post my morning writing on my Facebook page. I usually do it first thing in the morning. I don't know what it was that got me distracted this morning. Could have been anything. All right, guys, throw something out there. What do you want to talk about? Questions? You guys want to read some poetry? I have a copy of one of my books right here. I'm more than happy to dive in. Or we can bring up some Rumi, some Hafiz. Your call. Simple says, ATJ Falcon. What are you guys doing to me, man? Medic says, I used to be indecisive, but I'm not so sure now. But maybe I am. Simple says, aren't they just? Ah, gotcha. He says, I'm staring through Aura's souls. What do you see? It's not laughing. Toy Pup says, we'd love to hear some poetry. Curious Rock says, the best yogi is live. Woohoo, I also a favorite of mine. Well, thank you, my friend. I never realized I was anyone's favorite before. Definitely was not my mom's favorite. That says Rumi. Man. And I just happen to have a copy of my book in my hand. But let's bring up some Rumi. I'm always up for Rumi. I'm going to read something for Kat from Rumi. She knows what it is. She'll know right off the bat. So when I read Hafiz is another Persian Sufi poet. To me, he's beautiful, but he's always very practical. So is Rumi in a way. But he's so just absolutely beautiful. I've read this 100 times before. I will read it 100 times again. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the door sill where the two worlds touch. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. Actually, oddly enough, not oddly, coincidentally, I guess, I think of Sniper when I read this. The line, people are going back and forth across the door sill where the two worlds touch, because that reminds me of the thin place. In Celtic mythology, Celtic Christianity, they talk about the thin places. This is where heaven and earth coincide, and we think of coincidence, right? There's really no such thing as a coincidence. Coincidence means coincide. How can two things coincide so perfectly? Be an accident, be a coincidence. No such thing. The universe is just too focused, too aligned for something like that to happen. So when Rumi says people are going back and forth across the doorsill where the two worlds touch, he is saying these are the thin spots where you can literally reach out and touch heaven here and now. This is why don't go back to sleep. It's the hours of Brahma Muhurtai, which literally means the hours of God. This is when you want to wake up and you want to pray. And you want to pray in a way that is totally different than the way we're used to praying. Got to go. I got that one. I did get that one. It means go tell Gigi, right? Something like that. When you pray it this way in the hours of God in Brahma Muhurtai, hours, about an hour and a half, 90 minutes, maybe an hour and 45 minutes before the sun comes up, about an hour or so after. It's a flexible time. The door is the thinnest. The veil is the thinnest. You pray not to ask, although Seth is a non-physical intelligence that was channeled by Jane Roberts, that if one were to wake up in those hours and ask what they wanted, you would get it. But most of us don't know what we want. We think we want a thing, right? We don't really want a thing. They're nice. It's nice getting things, right? They don't bring us any happiness. They don't bring us any true joy. 3 a.m. is the best time. I agree. By 3 a.m., actually, I've already meditated and I'm starting my first yoga asana practice. Focus says there's a lot of my favorite channels on at the moment, but I chose you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Got to go. I did know that. I was just joking. So true prayer is when we're in constant communication with God. It's no longer God grant me, God give me, God can I. Falls into a deep silence. Communication, commune. Not even going back and forth. It's too intimate, too close. If you want to do a profound prayer, 3 a.m. in the morning, follow your breath. The greatest gift that you've been given is that inspiration, in spirit, drawing in breath, inspire. It's no accident that you wake up in the morning and you're granted everything you need. Like that. You don't have to search for air to breathe. You don't have to gather it up. I'm up in the morning, let me grab my morning air. You don't need to arrange the stars. You don't need to get the sun in a certain position. Everything is there for you. The moment you open your eyes, existence is there for you. You went the no thingness of deep sleep. No thingness. No thing. Deep sleep. No thoughts. In yoga, there's 4 stages of consciousness. Hey, L-Dog. So, L-Dog, why do you wake up angry? Medic says his doctor told him I had 3 months to live. I told him I couldn't pay his bill. He gave me another 3 months. Keep putting that off. Medic says, I constantly thank God for giving me the gift to heal others, suffering, and save lives. Hey, Medic, I was talking about you. I think you might have left. I was telling people that you are also a Reiki master. Estat says, I wake up tired. I very often feel like I could use just a little bit more sleep when I wake up, but I don't allow myself to get it. It's a slippery slope, my friends. I wake up angry because my brain needs to wake up. But what's that have to do with anger? Because other people wake me up before I'm ready. Ah, got you. Medic says, that is correct. Yes, I do Reiki. If you want to do some Reiki tomorrow at 8 8 o'clock in the morning, that would be uh what would it be? 1 o'clock your time? It would be 1 o'clock your time for our friend Howling with Hammer. He's going into surgery. Medic says, I'm just grateful I wake up. Odok says, Yogi, in the morning, I'm very sensitive. After some coffee and food, I can tolerate the living. Gotcha. You ever thought about some morning meditation and some breath work? Tipper says the key is first thing to say thank you for opening your eyes. Absolutely. It's been my practice for, man, I started in the 1980s. What was that? 6, 7 years ago? Falcon says, I'm fine once the brandy and chocolate kicks in. ST says, every day above ground is a good day. So they say. I would agree with they. I would agree with they. Let's go back in for some more roomy, guys. Another favorite. Again, most of you have heard these before. You've heard me read them before. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be cleaning you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Imagine that. Imagine arriving at a place in your life where everything that comes, joy, depression, meanness, momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Hold on. I dropped. From now on, thanks to Kat, I'm calling this the cadence pen. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, if you could meet them all at the door, laughing and invite them in, because they might be sweeping all that out for a new delight to come in. Give me a second, guys. Hey, make sure to show up at Medics. Pat says I'm a little cranky in the morning because I love sleep so much. I just want to go back. It's just been so long since I've stepped in. Hey, Hollow with Hammer, I was just talking about you. Flip Up says, I love mornings. It's a new start, new choices. I'm always so grateful in the mornings. Hey, Jeff. I got some luck today. I had 1 million views. Well, 18 hours, 18K hours, 365 days. Man, that's so awesome. That's more than luck. I don't think that's luck. I think you worked for that. I think you earned it. Sleep is good. It is good. Now, I was mentioning the 4 stages of consciousness as expressed in yogic, Vedic literature. That you have waking state, you have dreaming state, you have deep sleep, and you have what's called Turiya. Turiya is bliss consciousness. It is that deep state of meditation when you have transcended the egoic mind completely. Pure spirit. So sleep is actually good practice for reaching that state. if you can train yourself to be lucid during those moments, has anyone known anyone who's been lucid during being put out before surgery? Odok says, maybe we can be forgiving and loving to everyone, but if you don't have a hard shell, you'll be destroyed by the environment. Disagree 100%. I did not make it to 60 with a hard shell. My father did not make it to 94, surviving the Great Depression, surviving World War II, the tail end of World War II, surviving having a bratty little son. Talking about my brother, of course, not me. He made it through all that without a hard shell. He grew up dirt poor. Cook says that power is a lot of hard work, Jeff. That's amazing. Congratulations on the great accomplishment. It is. Cat says, Squirrel Sniper, yes, thinking isn't my favorite, but seeing you every morning is my favorite. I love you, Squirrel Sniper. Medic said, I told a patient I have good news and bad news. He said, what's the good news? He said, you have 48 hours to live. Oh my God, he said, what's the bad news? I replied, I should have told you yesterday. That is bad news. Hey, Lady Sky. Jeff says, thanks, Toy Pups. Hope you had a good day, Lady Sky. All right. We're going to move away from Rumi. Pick a page, guys. Pick a page from 1 to 85. Belkin has a few jokes, but none of them are PG. Lady Sky says, yes, my day has been great so far, Yogi. How was your day? My day was good. I had some ups and downs. Auto says, Yogi, what happens when that loving pink blob gets hurt? Wait a minute. Do I have a loving pink blob? It was by accepting it got hurt and will always get hurt. I don't understand, L-Dog. Flip Up says, I would agree with you. Medic, YouTube will drain you. I'll be honest with you. Starting to a little bit. All right, 64 and 77. All right, just a little bit longer. Do you love me? She asked. The man gazed at the woman as the story of her unfolded within his mind. He smiled and simply nodded. Looking within his eyes, reading the story told, she returned the smile. She recognized the nod. This is a story told by a simple gesture. This is the story behind the nod. You ask me if I love you, and I can only nod my head. And yet, your every touch feels like home. Your voice sounds within me as a sweetened laughter. Your ears hear me cry from 1,000 miles away. Your heart beats as the only rhythm of my world. Your soul mingles as my own. And still, you ask me if I love you, and I can only nod my head. And yet we know. In the beginning. And the formless breathed a lasting kiss. Upon her lips this vessel born. And desire came forth to know itself, as life and rise to form. And so here we stand, this vessel filled. each to give, to receive, to gather still. Creation turned and held in time, our life's this love, as gold entwined. All right. Last one. Hey, George. Flip up says page 60. All right, we'll get page 62. This is for, who said 88? As ash. I have surrendered to your fire and burnt. I come alive as nothing more than ash. And scattered by some holy breeze, I now reach every part of you. Flip up said 60. All right, 60. This is called the kiss. And we were born from a kiss, a slow breath giving life, and then a pause, to linger, to touch, for lips to gently part. We live within this memory, and dream the kiss to brush our lips once more. And we leave this world upon a kiss, a slow breath ceasing gift, with one last pause to linger, to remember, for lips to slowly merge again. That was actually inspired from the studying Kabbalah at the time. I wrote this book in 2002, before any of you were actually born. George, how are you, my friend? Cat says, hi all, I love you. I'm laying down. I will probably fall asleep soon. So bye, sweet dreams. I love you. Love you too, Cat. Thank you for coming in. Medic says, make YouTube work for you, not the other way around. Any suggestions on how to do that? Sample says, Holland with Hammer. I feel you, my friend. I have the same issue with black motorbikes and riders. Long story, many years ago. I missed Harius. Holland with Hammer says, I've had many surgeries. I've had many issues. I also worked 70 to 90 hours a week. I work out every day. They gave me 3 months to live 2 years ago. He's an amazing person, Hollering. Hollering says, I don't talk about this at all, but I was in a medic wing when that was rocketed in my younger days. So it's a mental issue for these surgeries. Hey, before you came in, I had mentioned you. We're going to be sending you prayers. Pink blob is a whole human without a shell. It's the blob. I don't feel very blob-like, though. Oh, here we go. I will read page 41, ladies guys. Sorry, I missed that. Holleran says, yeah, the lucid thing. I had to pull over. We have a storm. So because of my PTSD, I have to be knocked out for a loop before they can grid me in the operating room. I can understand that. This is called My Longing as a Prayer. I hold my longing as a prayer. I cherish it and gather it close. It is a thread that sews through time and binds me to you. You to me, life after infinite life. Time is an intimate friend. We dance through it as a song. What I long for longs for me. We are dreams fulfilled with one another. I hold my longing as a prayer. My heart yearns quiet faith. Time curves through mystery sweep. I wait only for you. Again, much of this was inspired by studying Kabbalah way back when. I was never a Kabbalahist. Our friend Miss Bipper, who should be up tomorrow. Hey, Richard. I would imagine that is pretty hard. Is David Attenborough that old? I didn't realize that. Going to be 100 next year. Medic says, "Yep, don't make YouTube your life. Get out and enjoy life for real." Lady Sky says, "Cool reading from that page 41, Yogi." Thank you, Lady Sky. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to read from my book. I don't mind being live. I don't mind going live 3 times a day. It has gotten a bit rough and tumble lately. As I mentioned before, my issue has never been with any single troll, but sometimes our response to what we conceive of as a troll can become a bit overwhelming. As I mentioned several times, as soon as we give someone a label, as soon as we assign them a name, you're a troll, you're this, you're that, we've dehumanized them. Now it's easy to attack. Now it's easy to do whatever we want because, hey, we're not being mean to someone. We're being mean to a troll. We're being mean to a demon, spirit, or whatever, right? And of course, nothing ever gets done because we even do that in politics. We even do that offline. I'm not being mean to a person. I'm being mean to a Democrat or a Republican or an independent. I'm being mean to a label. But we're not labels. Stephen says, Eric, check out George Herbert's Love. Let's see if we can find it real quick. All right. As suggested from Sniper. Love bade me welcome, yet my soul drew back, guilty of dust and sin. But quick-eyed love, observing me grow slack, from my first entrance in, drew nearer to me, sweetly questioning if I lacked anything. A guest, I answered, worthy to be here. Love said, you shall be he. I, the unkind, ungrateful, ah, my dear, I cannot look on thee. Look upon my hand, and smiling did reply, who made the eye but I? Truth, Lord, but I have murdered them. Let my shame go where it doth deserve. And know you not, says love, who bore the blame, my dear, then I will serve. You must sit down, says love, and taste my meat. So I did sit and eat. It sounded familiar, and yet I can't recall. I can't recall when I've heard that before. Focus said there might be children watching, though. Well, how do you interpret that? Here's the AI overview. It's a poem about divine love structured as a dialogue between a hesitant speaker, the guest, and a persified God, love. The speaker is burdened by guilt and unworthiness due to sin, but love insists on his worthiness, explaining that Christ was already born the blame. Christ has already borne the blame for humanity's sins. The poem accumulates in the speaker acceptance of God's grace and his commitment to serve, illustrating the transformation of power of divine love and redemption. It's a beautiful interpretation. Interpretation's almost as beautiful as the poem. Eldog says, Yogi, if you let a troll in, someone of malice intent, they will use you as a toilet and a puppet figure pulling your strings so you dance as they wish. It's a mockery of your dignity. Only if you see it that way, if you decide to translate something that way. No one can do anything to me. No one. I can only do stuff to myself. My dignity is independent of the thoughts of others. Pep says, thank you for this, Yogi. It's an amazing conversation that needs to be had. That needs to be had. Sorry. Everyone is a person. Everyone has feelings, and I don't think we should label anyone as a troll. Agreed. Lady Sky says, how to trig. Focus says, we get what we give. Olduk says, I doubt kids watch this. They want to see wheelies and fires. All right, I know what I got to do. Just a yogi doing wheelies and fire. Just a yogi doing wheelies through fire. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I rebrand my channel. It's got a brand new start for me, guys. You guys want to see wheelies? I might need to get a bike first. How about if I, without a bike, I leap through a hula hoop that's on fire? Focus says some people's comments are not for the eyes of our little ones. I agree. Not talking about this channel. If I have 2 accounts, do you treat each one with different levels of respect? I don't know. Depends on how you came in, right? I try to treat everyone with respect. Now, some people come in right off the bat, and it's a little difficult. You know they're not going to stay. You know they're joking. You know they're going to be gone. They get what they want, and they're out of here. They need that quick hit, that little bit of attention. They need to feel good about themselves. I don't care. It takes absolutely nothing from me. Zero. It takes nothing away from me to let someone get that. If they feel good about themselves, man, put one over on that guy. How does that affect me? Let me read you guys something. You ready? There is but one interpretation of motivation that makes any sense. And because it is the Holy Spirit, judgment, because it's the Holy Spirit's judgment, it requires no effort at all on your part. Here's the important part, guys. Every loving thought is true. Everything else is an appeal for healing and help, regardless of the form it takes. Can anyone be justified in responding with anger to a brother's plea for help? No response can be appropriate except the willingness to give it to him. For this and only this is what he's asking for. I'm going to put part of that in the comment section. Hey, Super Champ, I don't know if I'm going to be on long enough to bring a guest up. I think I'm only going to be on for about 15 more minutes. Focus says, not dark in Arkansas yet. Yeah, I think you're, what, an hour behind? So, Eldog says, you're lucky, Yogi. If you had long hair, that would be a fire hazard. I've set parts of myself on fire before. Flame and kettlebell workout. I could do that. It's getting dark. Lady Sky. I have done my utmost best to live this, that every loving thought is true. Everything else is an appeal for healing and help. I have tried to do that every single day on YouTube with varying degrees of success. Remember, guys, I've been doing this for a long time. I've gotten better at it, but I'm not good at it. Not yet. I don't know if you're supposed to be good at it. I think you're just supposed to keep getting better and better. Oh, Super Champ says there are two things to say. First, take your pills. And second, good night, everyone. I'm heading to bed and have a fantastic life. Super Champ, thank you so much for showing up and for reminding me. Got it right in my hand. What do you guys think of the time changes? For it or against it? I do not like the manipulation of the appearance of time. Duncan says not in Arkansas, but was watching Thunderstruck. Oh, Thunderstruck. Yep. Before, and it was late. Oh yeah, I remember that you're from Tasmania. You're actually in the future. It's already Monday for you. Pepper says, yeah, long hair and hippie smoking life can have some issues. It definitely can. I had a friend way long ago who can never grow a proper beard. He would grow about 6 or 7 hairs from his chin that would go down here, and we would be doing what teenagers do, if you know what I'm talking about. And I'd hear this, oh crap, and he would set his chin hairs on fire, and they would go smoldering up, and then he'd start growing it back the next day, and it would happen all the time. Focus says, I'm a time traveler. Give us some information from the future, man. Is it bright? What do we have to look forward to? Odak says, Yogi, if you were a game character, you'd had maximum defense and healing status, but low attack. I hope to one day have 0 attack. I'm not there yet. Yeah, I don't either, Falcon. Sniper says, I don't know. Let's find out. It's earlier this year. Maybe it isn't earlier. It's November 2nd. So we got some time. I dislike losing daylight. Don't mind the dark. I don't like the losing daylight in the morning because nature filming. Falcon's got the lotto number. Share it with us, my friend. Thank you, Lady Sky. It's Sunday for you guys. So we're not that far apart. I remember last year, we were like a couple weeks different. It took a while for us to catch up with each other. Zipper says, Falcon, have you heard about Trump's grandfather and time traveling? I haven't. Maybe I'll write about this tomorrow. Attack thoughts. Course of Miracles has a lot to say about attack thoughts. First thing that came up was a video from our friend. He lets me call him his friend ever since he came up here 2 Mondays ago. David Hoffmeister. Him and I are buddies. You know, I know a few famous people. Attack thoughts. Attack thoughts weaken you. Every attack thought weakens you by attacking your sense of invulnerability. I need to attack because I'm vulnerable. The truth is that you are invulnerable. If you had the thought that no thought could actually hurt you, man, you'd be bulletproof. No thought can hurt you. Imagine if Hey, Jack. Jack says, very nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you too. How are you, my friend? Imagine that. No thought can hurt you. Can you imagine how different every single live stream would be if you knew that no thought could hurt you? And every attack that comes your way is a call for love. Every attack that comes your way is a call for love. Of course, we don't believe that. So we put up a defense. And then we become justified for attacking those we believe are attacking us. But imagine if you saw every attack as a call for love. Is it possible? Yes. I practice it every day, again, varying degrees of success. Remember, attack thoughts and invulnerability are mutually exclusive. They cannot coexist. By holding on to attack thoughts, you cannot know yourself as you were created. You're created as invulnerable. You cannot be attacked by thoughts. You cannot be attacked by words. The Course in Miracles, yoga, Buddhism, Sufism, Kabbalah were all designed to set you free. Aldex says thoughts lead to action. Do they have to? Now, Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson said the answers to every thought is an action, or the answers to every action is a thought. However, they don't have to. How was your weekend, Jack? Environment says, my fascinating dream taught me the sky often turns green before a tornado. I never heard that before. So, Eldog, there's an entirely different way of thinking that brings you peace instantly, should you choose it. Most of our lives, we don't realize we have that. Again, it's a practice of Buddhism, it's a practice of yoga, it's a practice of A Course in Miracles, that we have the ability to train our minds to be responsive instead of reactive. Yoga is particularly fascinating in its approach, calming the mind with the practice of certain ethics, non-harm being number one. Breath work, bringing us from that sympathetic state, fight and flight, reactive, to the parasympathetic. Bernhard says, I love subscribe to Lady Sky and Falcon. We all support. Awesome. Thank you, Jack. Jack says, very good, brother. I'm in a peaceful place. How are you? Jack, I'm doing pretty good. Always appreciate you stopping by. Yep, I've been watching. I've been watching you kids skating. Lady Sky says, thank you for subscribing. Falcon says, thank you, Reinhardt. I'll do the same. The Reinhardt's channel is doing some amazing thing on wheels. Simple says, environment, the green color is a warning sign because it indicates the presence of an exceptional deep moisture-laden storm cloud, which often precedes large hail. Environment heard of sprites and elves. What do you know about elementals, Sniper? Always been fascinated by elementals. So, wouldn't you rather be free from attack thoughts, yours and others? And you can be absolutely free. You can free yourself of your own good opinion. You can free yourself of the opinion of others. Hey, Daniel. Welcome back, my friend. And happy Sunday to you. Have you seen an environment before? Have you seen, sorry, hurricane before? Environment? Last year we had one in my backyard. L Dog says, Yogi, I experienced a lot of people in my life that get jealous. If I show I'm happy, they will do stuff to make me unhappy. Only way to combat that is to say nothing and look mad. Why do you think that's the only way to combat that? I've been through a lot of stuff in my life too. And I've learned there's always another way, there's always a better way. You don't have to react to what people bring you. Ever. Only witness small twisters. Yeah, I was really fortunate with a tornado in my house. It actually upturned all kinds of trees. It did damage uh, right across the street from me, but I wasn't touched. I was urged to go down in my basement, but have you ever tried to herd two cats down into a basement? Did not want to go. So I thought, all right, I can't leave them. They can't face a tornado by themselves. If they're going through it, I'm going through it. Environment says, I don't know much about elves and spirits, sprites. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Gio. So this is called the final analysis. It's very often called Mother Teresa's prayer. Don't get all upset. Don't give me all kinds of information about Mother Teresa. I know all about Mother Teresa, the good and the bad, the whatever. She didn't write it. She loved it. This was written by Kent Keith. She loved it so much she had it hanging in the orphanage hospital that she worked at. I think I read this yesterday. This is good for anyone who's going through anything where they feel everything they've worked for is being threatened. If you're having a hard time on YouTube, keep this in mind. If if you're feeling threatened in any way, if you're feeling jealous, whatever it is, people are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you're honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the best you've got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Hey, Abigail. Nothing you do has to be based upon anyone else. Abraham Maslow, the father of positive psychology and the one who diagrammed the hierarchy of needs, with self-actualizing being at the top, talked about self-actualized people. Self-actualized person is independent of the good opinion of others, is what he said. We are not at the mercy of other people's thoughts, opinions, beliefs. So anytime that we believe that we are being attacked and we respond accordingly, it means that we are telling other people, I can be attacked. I can be vulnerable. I am at your mercy. Abaco says, let's double tap in. Go double tap, go like, and go subscribe to Double Tapping on your notifications. Thank you, Abigail. Appreciate you, my friend. Top mod. Abigail is everyone's top mod. Yep. There she says, I'm the favorite mod. You certainly are. Semper says, Eric, they act as centers of force and intelligence that maintain natural balance that come in states like the elements fire, earth, air, and water. Yeah, I love the elements. I think about that every morning when I'm walking. Elementals. Falcon says, yes, you are, Abigail. Environment says, I find all other forms recognize the inner compassion before people do. Interesting. I think people recognize it, but they have buried it down so deep that they don't want to acknowledge it. Jack says, double tap the screen. Thank you, my friend. Abigail says, you're welcome. Rebecca says, hey to the Reinhardts. Abigail says, thank you so much. Rainy day tonight. I think it's going to rain tonight, too. We're getting the, like, just the edge of that nor'easter that's going up the coast. Seven says, environment, sprites and elves, types of transient luminous events, which are massive, short-lived electrical phenomena occurring high above active thunderstorms. Happy Halloween to you, Abigail. Hey, we're having a Halloween party here. Nature's Dog Realm's going to come up. Jack says, Eric, you have great support behind you. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone coming in, spending time with me. Deficit sprites are large-scale reddish-orange flashes, often shaped like jellyfish or carrots that extend from about 40 to 90 kilometers in altitude. One day, our friend Michael's going to come up, and I don't know when, and we're going to talk about orbs. People say they see orbs when I'm working out in the basement, but I think it's chalk flying around, to be honest with you. Abigail says, I miss you, Lilu. Lee hung out with us this afternoon. Abigail says, I miss Shirley. I miss Shirley, too. Bernhard says, the kids are excited for Halloween. Everyone have their costumes picked out? Semper says, hey, the Reinhardts. They discuss as you dressing up for Halloween, Yogi? Generally speaking, I don't. I don't really participate in Halloween. Not for any particular reason. Old and grumpy. But this year, with Nature's Dog Realms coming up, and we're going to sing and play kazoo, we're doing our theme songs that we do once a month, and we just decided to do it on Halloween. I might actually do something. I got something in mind. How about you, Lady Sky? But I should see with Chris. We should have a show us your costume, too. I need to get StreamYard so I can have more than one person up at a time. Odok says, I think it's chalk too, Yogi, because there's lots of them. Yes. Bad news is I'm breathing that crap in. Falcon says, I'm always a vegetarian werewolf, so I just go as myself. We need proof. How long have you been vegetarian, Falcon? I'm on my 16th year of being vegan. Environment says, well, Sniper, that is like what I was witnessing, like electric tornadoes within the tornado, just the upper orb spinning. This guy says, oh, cool, Yogi. We'll definitely have fun. You got dusty lungs now? I hope not. Unfortunately, person in the room right next to where I work out is a heavy smoker and also dumps the ashtray sometimes in the middle of a set when I'm breathing hard. Lady Sky says, yes, I have a costume for Halloween. What are you going to be for Halloween, Lady Sky? What are you going to do? Guys, I appreciate the nice, quiet live stream with you guys. Believe it or not, this is how all of my live streams used to be. We're slowly working our way back. Focus says, winter is coming. I was vegetarian for 8 years and lapsed. Pretty sure I'm convinced that eating our loved ones is not good medicine, and I love animals. Yeah, it was ethical reasons why I went. If someone said, studies have shown that being a vegan is the unhealthiest thing that you could do, I would be like, well, I got to find a way to make it healthier for me because I'm a vegan. Repaying a karmic debt. I come from a long line of hunters. I'm not anti-hunting. I'm not anti-fishing. That's all. I love my fishing community, absolutely, because none of them are cruel. I'd rather someone hunt and fish or uh, get their food from a small farm than the factory farms. I'm anti-cruelty. I'm not anti-meat. I'm anti-cruelty. I'm not anti-farmers. I'm anti-cruelty. I'm not anti-hunters or fishermen. Lady Scott says that we're passing out candy on that night, Yogi. I got Halloween candy yesterday at the grocery store, but I will surprise you on what my Halloween costume will be. I'm looking forward to it. So, hey, Falcon, Tasmania, do you have the same winters that Australia has? In Australia, winter will be in our summertime, right? How is the weather in Tasmania? Zipper says he used to wear my gorilla suit. No, ghillie suit. And a wolf mask, and my 2 children walked with me on a lead whilst going trick or treating. Was hilarious for those few years. Duncan says, no, I try not to preach about it. Me neither. It doesn't help. Rebecca's laughing. Pippa says, Rebecca, it was fun. It was dark. We're going to be wrapping things up in just a minute, guys. I'll get to bed a little bit early. I always say that. I never quite do. Any questions before I shut things down? Go to bed? Focus says the tropics have wet and dry season. The rest is 4 seasons. Tasmania is quite temperate. I need to look up Tasmania. Have you ever actually seen a Tasmanian devil? Might do that before bed. How far off the coast is it from Australia? You ever make it over to Australia? I see it's the 26th largest island in the world. I wonder what the largest is. Do the people of Tasmania consider themselves Australian, or is it a completely separate thing? Sorry for so many questions. Now, Tasmania has mountains, right? So the climate's going to be a little different in the mountains? Or am I mistaken about that? One more question. Have you ever seen snow before? Rebecca says, good night, Yogi, and everyone. Hope you all have a good week. I hope you do too, Rebecca. Hey, Coco. Coco says, lots and lots. Have I guessed for next week? So far, I have one with a couple people waiting to let me know. I'd love to have at least two more. Eurasia is the biggest island. Thank you. Dundee? I have one for sure on Tuesday. Winota is coming up. Hold on, guys. I'll let you know exactly. We're going to talk about addiction, recovery, and seen through the lens of Diona Thusen. Seen through the lens of Course in Miracles. Talking recovery, the 12 steps, and true forgiveness. And then I might have a therapist coming up later in the week. I said, further south, much colder. Focus says, depends on who you ask, but I recon the majority consider themselves Australian. Yes, I've been in a blizzard. Wow. Simple says, Blue Mountain and NSW were stunning all year round. Focus says, Australia is such a beautiful country, very diverse. So what do you think of seeing a Tasmanian devil? That's pretty fascinating. I'm welcome to visit anytime. Nice. Man, what are you going to do if I'm knocking on your door tomorrow? And by tomorrow, I mean Tuesday, since it's already Monday for you. All right. Let's pack it up. Guys, thank you again. I love them. They're very cute, but a bit noisy, is all. So they're not very devilish, are they? I'm going to look up the wildlife of Tasmania before I go to bed. Falcon, you sent me down a Tasmanian rabbit hole. Hi, Eldog. Eldog, thanks for hanging out. We don't always agree on everything, my friend, but I always respect your view, and I always love and appreciate you being here. Sepa says Tasmanian devil versus honey badger. I'm gonna go with the honey badger. I mean, if you drop dead in the bush, they would eat you. Okay. I can plan on that. I was planning on a bear, but man, getting eaten by Tasmanian devils, it's not a bad way to go. Falcon says honey badger would win. All right. Dog says, Yogi, I'm here to learn and be guided. I'm just glad you're here, my friend. Oh, wow. Many sightings of the Tassie tiger? I haven't heard of that before. Man, now we're talking all kind of good stuff, and I got to go to bed. Let's bring this up again tomorrow, man. I got to look up the Tassie tiger. Hold on, before we go. Tasmanian wildlife. Man, I'm looking at photos. What a beautiful country. Yeah, so the Tasmanian devil actually isn't very big. You got wallabies, eastern quoll, kangaroos. You got smaller kangaroos, right? The eastern gray. Padmelon? Am I reading that right? Patamelon, which sort of looks like a kangaroo. Why does everything look like a kangaroo? Common ring-tailed possums. We got possums here, but not like that. Hairy-nosed wombat. I love wombats. What do you think of that, Sniper? We've actually had wombat conversations here. I don't remember exactly why we had wombat conversations, but we did. Other kind of wallabies. Platypus. You ever seen a platypus? I don't see anything about a tiger. Oh, it says it's extinct. You can look up a wadhund hound, right? That's my spirit animal. I will look that up. So they still have them, you guys are saying? Dreams of visions. I have dreams of bears all the time. And always good dreams. Hold on. The bush dog. Canine found in Central and South America. That's a nice looking animal, guys. First dog in German. Gotcha. It's a cool looking dog. Environment says many people say they've sighted the tiger, but no real proof. Falcon says bears are very sacred. I love, love, love bears. We get some wandering through my neighborhood once a year, maybe once every 2 years. I live about 45 minutes to an hour to the nearest bear population. But every year, when the mother is preparing to have newborns, she kicks her yearlings out. Every 2 years. And they go wandering looking for their own territory. And they end up down here wandering through. Very young, not real large. It's still nice to have bears wander through. All Dog says it's the size of a cat, endangered species. Hope it makes it through. All right. With that, I'm going to go. Thanks, guys. Love you all. I will see you tomorrow. I'll be live again at 5 o'clock. Miss Blipper is going to be up Monday afternoon. We're going to talk all things Course of Miracles. Whatever day Sniper wants to come up, Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening, and it's the Alchemist Cafe with Squirrel Sniper. I don't know if Lucy's going to continue reading cards. We'll see. Thank you, Eric LaPointe. I appreciate that. Aldog said he would own one if he could. Thank you, Sniper. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks.